I want to know, what did you play pretend at when you were a child? What was your imagination game of choice? Or perhaps it was a place that you felt most ignited by the energy world. Whenever you went to this special place, maybe it was a tree house, maybe it was somewhere like in the woods behind your house that you would go to alone so that you could play make-believe. You see, as children, when we grow, there's this element of conditioning that takes hold as we root ourselves more and more into an adulthood identity. And many of us are conditioned to believe that these games and these imagination embarkations that we would enter into so seamlessly as children, and we would be able to be whisked away to another world at ease, you know. It wasn't another world, that's what I'm here to tell you. What we were merging so effortlessly with, it was the energy world. It's a world that's more real than this world of the 3D. And even now as adults, many of us who are entrepreneurs, and we have experienced periods of highs and lows and moments of feeling in the flow state versus moments of feeling disconnected from that sparkle. And it's something that I was reflecting on this morning. And it had to do with whenever we manifest something into beingness in the 3D world, where we first must tap into is that energy world. And it's funny because, you know, this is the world that we're conditioned as children to believe is not real. To believe is the stuff of childhood, something you grow out of. When in fact, if we were instead conditioned to grow into that world and to regard it as even more real than 3D reality, our 3D reality would become a reflection because there's no other way that it can be. There's times when entering into the world of the imaginary, the world of energy, that world that you cannot see with your 3D senses, that is, it's a world that feels delicious, and it feels aligned in a way that the 3D world never really can measure up to. For entrepreneurs like myself and others who aim to manifest a vision that only they can see, whenever you finally manifest that vision, oftentimes what will follow is a feeling of, wow, that was anticlimactic, because what I was able to see in the energy world was so much richer, so much more poignant and inspiring than when it actually manifests into the 3D. And many will become disillusioned or feel disconnected from that vision, and they'll feel like this sense of letdown. And I want to encourage the notion that everything in the energy world is more rich in color and more inspiring in the frequencies that it shares. But that in no way is a reason to deter you from manifesting your visions into the 3D, because that's what we're here to do as humans. I'm really excited about the notion of imagination and all that it holds in terms of being a portal into what it is that you came on earth incarnated at this time to embody. Because if you think about it, what comes so naturally to us as children, to imagine, to play make-believe, the connotation of those words, you know, we've been conditioned against regarding them with value and with merit, and like it's not something to pay attention to, when the opposite actually is true. Because tapping back into your process of imagining, tapping back into your ability to conceive of a vision, this is the missing ingredient that so many who are struggling to manifest the reality of their dreams are grappling with. I know I'm not the first to consider this. I know that there's like a whole slew of coaches and mindset manifestation exercises, energy workers, all form of practitioners who are putting you back into connection with your inner child, even your inner child imagination. But what I will say is this: I have devised an entirely new process for how to do that. That does not consist of a step-by-step protocol. Because as far as I can tell, those are just words. I've worked for so many in this business, in the online entrepreneurial world, in the spirituality and coaching sectors, and I know all of the different practices, protocols, processes made available out there. And from what I can see from my vantage point is that they are all words. Those are words. And in a way, they're kind of empty, like how a manifestation sometimes feels whenever you bring it into the 3D. There's an emptiness to it. There's a lack of substance that was fully realized in the world of energy and your vision before you brought it into the physical. So all of those processes for manifesting, for tapping into the world of energy and finding your flow state, which is ultimately just syncing with the frequency that you came to Earth to embody in the first place. All of those processes, they're kind of a step-by-step how to do this or how to do that, you know, how to, and it might be coursework, or it might be one-to-one work where someone is holding you accountable for doing this legwork. It's exhausting. I've been through many of these programs, and something that I will say is that if it is not an effortless process of connecting to infinite spirit, that expression you are here to emit, it's not going to take. And the process that I have devised, it's a way of connecting effortlessly and simply kicking back and tuning in the way that you might tune into a radio station, a frequency, as easy as you would sitting back and enjoying a movie. But what it does is it puts you into energetic connection with frequencies that you've long since forgotten. They've always been there for you to connect with, and at one time, in childhood probably, you were able to do so easily. But it's designed to stir up those memories and allow that flow state to enter into your subconscious by way of a cinematic experience. It's brilliant. Based on all that I know about the human subconscious and the way in which we connect to the energy world by way of our nervous system, by way of what makes us feel something. And I'm sure you've done this. I'm sure that there have been movies that have spoken to you on a deep level. I know that there have been for me. It's one of the inspirations for this process that I've developed. But a lot of those movies, funny thing, they're conditioned to do something that is not necessarily for our highest good. Most of them are, they are designed to condition you towards a specific response that is beneficial to someone else other than you. Let's just leave it at that, shall we? We don't need to jump into a rabbit hole of conspiracy theory. You know, focus on that is simply focus taken away from that which serves you. But what I've designed is a cinematic experience that is, it's there to entertain, it's there to ignite and inspire, but it's also created in a way where the intention is to connect you to something that you have lost touch with, and a way of reconnecting with that, reconnecting with your inner child imagination, the sequencing, your process. You have a process. And what's amazing, what I love so much about this cinematic experience that I have created is how personalized it is for each individual. I have received so many testimonials from my beta testing group for this Rainmaker experience. And they have all received a spark that reignites memories. But those memories are different for every individual. But these memories put you back in touch. They're like a portal to your inner child reflection of you, so that you can find your way that you lost somewhere along the way. And I'm excited to share it with you. I want to know how you played as a child. Do you remember? Do you recall where you were, what that looked like, what that felt like in your body? Because I'm here to tell you that as a child, you were limited in your circumstances with how much you had control over your own life. That's the unfortunate state of childhood. You don't really get to make the decisions about where you are and who you live with and what it is that you're doing all day. Arguably, some would say the same about adulthood, but there are decisions that you get to make as an adult that you were not given as a child. And those different decisions than the ones that you could be making, that you are making every day, right now, the same decisions over and over again, that's building your reality, those can be shifted. Those can be reworked in your vision of how it is that you intend to go about your everyday. And those different decisions reshape your reality. But making those decisions comes from a place of energy within you, comes from a shift within you. You can change your behavior for a short period of time, but if it doesn't come so effortlessly from this place of vision that you see it playing out in a different way than it always has, it's not going to take. it's not going to manifest. Because this 3D world simulation, it's just that, it's a simulation, and it takes repetitive decisions and actions over time. Not like the energy world where you can see it and it's real instantly. But in that place of magic that we all have a birthright to our own abundance, we all have access to that portal. That is what dictates what this 3D simulation reflects. So, I'm bringing Rainmaker, a cinematic experience, to activate your abundant birthright. It's a cinematic experience that's going to change your life. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited for what it's going to bring to those who aim to merge with that frequency that they've lost touch with. It's their birthright. It's your birthright. And it's the portal to manifesting the life you envision for yourself. And if that's not come easily to you, if that's not fallen into place in an effortless way, then Rainmaker is going to put you in sync with those frequencies that you have lost touch with. Only you can create this reality the way that you see it. No one else can create it in the likeness of your vision. That is the conundrum here on Earth. We are all one, but we are all in these illusory, individual segments of separateness. But that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of experiencing it through your eyes.